Hey, what's up, guys? Anton here, and if you notice a little bit different of an office scene, it's because I'm working out of a different office that we have here in Austin, and in fact, this is where one of my previous employees used to work from. He's no longer with us, but basically he would work in here and he would talk to different customers on the phone and really try to learn about them, right? To see if they're good fits to work with us, to see if we're good fits to work with them. That's not really the point of the video. The point is that he's not doing that anymore, so this week I basically handled a whole bunch of calls myself, right? I was the one that was getting on these booked calls. I was speaking directly with people from all over the world, really, that were interested in kind of getting started with dropship lifestyle and working with us. And it gave me a really good insight that, to be honest, I haven't had for maybe the past year or so with people who are currently looking to get into the world of e-commerce and looking to get started with dropshipping specifically. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I learned a lot about what's kind of going on in the e-commerce world right now as far as education goes. You know, I kind of live in a bubble, I'll admit that, with how e-commerce works, with how dropshipping works, because I don't go out there and really research what other people are doing. But potential students this week told me a lot about it. And the biggest thing that I kept hearing over and over and over with students from New York, from Los Angeles, from Chicago, from Australia, people that are out in Thailand, in the UK, from everywhere. They keep asking me about dropshipping from China, right? So something I don't think I've ever spoke about in the past, but something I wanted to address in this video because it seems more than ever right now, people are talking about dropshipping from AliExpress, they're talking about dropshipping from China, they're talking about direct response ads with Facebook to Shopify stores, and it was something that, you know, I heard some people that were curious about it, and I heard some people that had tried it or that are trying it that aren't getting great results. So here's my, I guess, opinion on dropshipping from China. Now, I've done it in the past for the few suppliers, never as like a full-on business, but I have sold a few products from a few different suppliers and drop shipped them from China. Now, my experience has been probably what most people deal with. It's long shipping times, right? At the very least, you're probably looking at 2 weeks. So if someone orders on your website, 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, they'll receive the item. Okay, so first of all, that's an issue. You know how it is with online shoppers. They buy something, they want it now, unless it's a custom-made product. So right off the bat, you're gonna have to really explain to your customers why it takes so long. Even if you have on your website that it's gonna be 2 to 4 weeks, you're gonna get emails saying, hey, where's my product? So right off the bat, it's kind of a bad experience for your buyer, which then in turn leads to having a bad experience for you or whoever's doing your customer support because you're dealing with these inquiries. So the second thing that I realized when I was doing this is that the products, not to say China doesn't make good products, they do. You know, most of the products we sell from legitimate suppliers come from China, but when you're drop shipping straight from China, you're gonna have problems, okay? Because these aren't branded, these are gonna kind of be generic things, and it's gonna lead to some items being defective and some items not being exactly what they look like or how they're portrayed in your product photos. That's gonna lead to customers going to want to return them, I should say, and what happens then, right? You don't ship them back to China, they're gonna get shipped to your house or your apartment or your office, or wherever you are, then you're gonna have to figure out what to do with it. You know, customer service, when you're dealing with a company on the other side of the world, they're not going to be as friendly as the established brands that you sell for that are based in the States or in Canada or in Australia or wherever it is you do business, right? So again, I mean, it's usually you're always going to have the long shipping times. You're going to deal with some defective products. You're going to have to kind of eat that and take those returns on yourself. So I'm not a fan of that. The other kind of direction that a lot of these conversations I had this week went was people telling me that, you know, when they're trying to do this, they're not trying to, I guess, follow what we do here, which is high ticket e-commerce. They're trying to sell items for 20 bucks, or they're trying to do free plus shipping offers, or they're trying to do anything that, you know, is really what I would consider direct response. People find out about it, they see an ad, it's such an amazing value that they buy it right then, right? And they're trying to put these products in front of people that aren't searching for them. So I'll give you an example. I'll try to find something in the office. This isn't a good example. This is like a gimbal, kind of like a DJI selfie stick. This thing sells for 300 bucks. So just picture it was like a $40 item. What the person would try to do is put this in front of people on Facebook that might be interested into it. They didn't search for it, right? But they just saw it in front of them, and then boom, they try to get them to click it and buy right away. So Here's the deal, guys. That's totally different than what it is we do here at my businesses, and that's kind of what I was trying to explain to everyone on the phone this week, which is why I thought, let me just like share this message with everyone, because I'm sure, if I spoke to 10 people this week and they all had that question, I'm sure a lot more people that are watching this will as well. So guys, if you want to know my opinion on dropshipping from China, I gave you the 2 reasons why I don't like it. If you want to know my opinion on selling like low ticket items and direct response like that, I'm going to link to a video that I made maybe a year ago. I'll link to it below this video because I do believe that there's a time and a place for it, really to sell tripwire products to get people into your e-commerce funnels. Not necessary at all, not something you should do if you're a beginner, but if you're gonna try to base your whole business, your entire model, if you're gonna try to base that off of drop shipping from China and getting people from Facebook who don't know you, who aren't searching for your product to click an ad and buy, you're gonna have a bad time, okay? Not saying it's not possible, but I'm saying there's a lot easier ways to run e-commerce stores. I'm saying there's a lot easier ways to build dropshipping businesses. So with that being said, guys, if you have any more specific questions, let me know below this video. If you do want to see our approach to basically selling low ticket items, then you can go ahead and watch the video that I'll link to below this. It's like a 30-minute training I posted on YouTube. With that being said, we did have some really good suggestions and comments and questions in our Facebook group this week. So let's go ahead and switch things up and we'll get into this week's episode of Dropship Weekly. All right, guys, so let's kick this off with the first post that we have from Richard here. And he said it's been a little over a week since he started running his product listing ads. He changed the settings so when you click add to cart, it goes straight to the cart instead of having a little navigation bar pop up saying you have one item in your cart. It actually takes you to the checkout page. He made this and he got a huge sale. He said, thanks to Michael and Ernest, who were 2 of the Dropship Lifestyle coaches. They got him started. They helped him to get to this point. But as you can see, a massive day for Richard at almost $3,800 in sales with only 4 orders. Guys, if anyone sells products where they're typically getting one-off sales, like the customers buying one thing at a time, definitely taking them from the click of add to cart to the cart is the way to go. I showed how to do this in a previous episode of Dropship Weekly if you're using the Dropship Lifestyle theme. So what I'm going to do, I'm making a note right now, is link to that video below this one. So if you are running a Shopify store and you haven't done this yet, definitely implement that change. It definitely results in a higher conversion rate. And just by the way, congratulations, Richard. Nice work. And of course, thank you to Michael and Ernest who helped him one-on-one throughout the process of getting set up. Got to give credit to another coach and to another student. Defan here says, thanks to John Warren. He implemented a lot of his advice to get his click-through ratio up, to get his traffic quality better with PLAs. And, if you guys want to pause this and kind of read the results he's getting, it's awesome. But I wanted to share this because if anyone feels stuck with product listing ads, if you feel like, you're making some progress, but they can be optimized, here's what Defan posted. This is kind of what his campaign structure looks like. This is taught, I guess, in Dropship Lifestyle in our AdWords PPC course. So you should definitely go through that first. But if you're stuck, if you feel like it's not optimized, if you know you could be getting a better ROI, definitely book a call with John Warren. I have to recommend him for this. He's been great with PPC. He's the guy to talk to one-on-one. John King is great as well, but this is the kind of results people should get. This is kind of how you should structure a campaign. It just leads to the best results with product listing ads. So again, thank you to John and congratulations to Zafan for getting set up correctly and really turning it into a super profitable store. It's amazing, man. Good work. Guys, Tammy this week in our Facebook group made some great recommendations on apps. So I'm going to share them both with you. Maybe you didn't see this post in our Facebook group. Maybe you passed over it, but it's important and it's valuable. So the first one that Tammy mentioned is accepting Amazon payments on your store. I will link to how you could do that below this video. Now, this is, just like literally an extra way to let your customers pay you. But what's great about doing this, and I may have talked about it before, so excuse me if I have, but it's important enough to share twice. What's great about doing this is it basically adds a little button to your site that says pay with Amazon, and it shows the Amazon logo. So when people are browsing your store, it just adds that credibility of a marketplace like Amazon, but it also, allows you to still maintain your own personality and your own brand and to own the data. So it's kind of giving you like the best of both worlds. So definitely get that set up if you don't have it set up yet. Again, I'll link for how to do so below this video. Next, Tammy made another great recommendation on an app this week, and let me see if I have it pulled up. I do. It's called Wishlist Plus. if you guys have been on my webinars, you probably heard me talk about how, 10 years ago when I first started with e-commerce, it literally cost me like $3,000 to $5,000 anytime I wanted to have anything custom done, and that includes having a wish list built into my stores, right? Well, not anymore. Now you can actually get started for free with Shopify. They have a whole bunch of different wish list apps. The one that Tammy uses and recommends is great. It's called Wishlist Plus. It's free. It's like a freemium model. So if your users don't use it a lot, it's free. If they use it a little bit, you spend like $10 a month, and at the max, you spend $30 a month. But it's definitely worth it. It's a great way for people just to kind of keep track of what they have in their cart, or not even in their cart, what they're thinking about buying from your store. Definitely get that installed. I'll link it up below this as well. And thank you to Tammy for 2 awesome recommendations this week. And guys, if you have anything else you want to share, any apps you use, definitely post them in Facebook or on our forum so that I can call attention to them and get more students using them. Next, we have a post that's not so great, not so positive, but definitely should be addressed. This one is from Nina from Australia, and she was asking if I have any advice on frauds, so like fraudulent orders. She said it seems like half of her orders ended up being fraudulent and getting a chargeback. So apart from using Signified, what else would I recommend to protect the stores from fraud and dealing with the dispute? So first of all, I'm sorry this happened. The main thing you want to do, and I know you said apart from using Signified, but the reason that's so important is because this needs to be addressed before the order gets fulfilled. Like the way you deal with chargebacks is to not get them, and the way you don't get them is by not accepting and shipping and processing fraudulent orders. So it really should be addressed before the order gets dispatched, right? So definitely use that if you're not using it already. Sometimes you'll get orders, and it is pretty frequent, that you'll have a different billing and shipping address. If that happens, put a second of time into it, like to make sure it's at least kind of similar. Make sure it's the same name, make sure it's the same phone number, and maybe you even want to give them a call or have your assistant give them a call to make sure that, like why are they shipping somewhere besides their billing address, And of course, there's times where that happens. It's very common, but maybe just an extra layer of protection. Make that call to verify it to save yourself that hassle. As far as dealing with disputes, if it really was a fraudulent order, it's kind of, it's I hate to say it, but that it's a fraudulent order, so you're not going to win that. If, of course, the person bought and it was a real order and you shipped it and they signed for it and they're just for some reason trying to want it for free, you'll win that every time. But again, guys, for Nina and for everyone watching this should definitely be dealt with before the order gets processed, before it gets shipped. So I'm sorry this happened, but definitely use those tools and verify on the phone moving forward, and that should resolve all of this. Next question this week is from Sean, and Sean says, do you think this is legit or unethical? And just a quick, note, whenever you ask that question, it probably means it's not, but I wanted to address this. He said he's talking about taking customer reviews from Amazon and adding them to the products on his site. So not referencing like service or not referencing the business that sold it, but straight up product reviews, right? Taking it from Amazon, putting it on your site. So here's the thing. If you're going to do this, talk to your suppliers first. Typically, I'm a big fan of doing things and then kind of like asking for forgiveness later rather than asking for permission first. But if the sellers on Amazon are the brands, which is usually the case, I would definitely message them, talk to my sales rep, send them an email, say, hey, I see you have so many great product reviews, and you could say maybe on Amazon, maybe on their own site, reference different places, and then just tell them like, we don't have any reviews for the product yet, but we would love to build out our product pages by adding these. Is that okay with you? And the reason you want to do this is because supplier relationships really are everything. We need them to trust us, and we don't want to do anything behind their backs. And not to say that they would care, because chances are they wouldn't, but at least if you ask first and you get that kind of like commitment, you're not going to be burning any bridges later. And of course, our supplier relationships are the best relationships that we have. They mean everything to the business. So that's my advice on that. And I did see this post was back from January, but I hadn't addressed it yet. So that's my opinion there. Next, guys, Dennis asked a question and Corey killed it with the response. So if you want to pause this and read it, do so. But the question from Dennis was, hello, what would you reply if your supplier asks you, how knowledgeable is your customer service? Now, just going back to that last comment I made, how your supplier relationships are everything. Remember, they approve us if they know that we're going to respect our customers, which are also their customers. So customer service is everything, which is why I give you, our scripts and how we approach suppliers all in our training course in Dropship Lifestyle. And like what Corey said here is the perfect way to answer that question. So thank you, Corey, for sharing this. And everyone should use this or something similar. Again, I'm not going to read it to you, but pause it, read through it. You'll see why it's a great response. Next, guys, I wanted to share this post from Long, and he said, I bought another store from a DSL student, turned on ads, used negative keywords to filter out generic level traffic, got good traffic. Next day, someone called them, and he asked them if they wanted to place an order on the phone, and they did it right away. So I just wanted to say, first of all, that's awesome for, buying a store and getting, boom, instant money back. That's definitely a good feeling. But what he was saying here, kind of like letting the customers talk. He didn't want to annoy him too much by just asking him if he wants to buy or not. But it is important, whether it's you doing the customer service and inbound calls yourself, or whether it's a VA that you're training, you always should ask them if they're ready to buy right then and there, because people forget. It's a lot easier. If someone's on the phone, you don't have to hard sell them. You don't have to force them into anything, but definitely try to close that sale right away. Ask them if they're ready to buy right there, and you'll take their order over the phone. Super easy to do, leads to more money, just like Long got here. So congratulations on that. Next, guys, I did want to call attention to a live stream that our community manager, Adam, did this week with the founder of Lucky Orange. You guys probably know Lucky Orange. We love Lucky Orange. We use that to get better data out of our stores and to convert more people into customers by seeing what they do when they're on our site. The founder, again, got on our YouTube channel this week, did a whole interview, showed us best practices for using it. It's youtube.com/dropshiplifestyle, and you can find this video on that page. I'll link to that below. We also had 2 other new videos come out this week on our YouTube channel. So by the way, if you're not subscribed there yet, go subscribe. But one of them was an interview with the winner of our 10K Dropship Challenge, and the other was an interview with the runner-up. Both amazing stories, both shared a ton of value. So I'll link to that below, guys. And I'll end this with saying, if you're not part of Shopify yet, if you don't have your account, we do have a special link, gives you a 21-day free trial instead of 14, and saves you 10% on your bill for the first year. It's shopify.com/dropshiplifestyle. So go there, sign up if you're not on Shopify yet, or if you want to build your next store, save some money, and get an extended trial, that's the link. So that being said, guys, thank you. Hope you got a lot of value out of this episode. If you did, please give it a thumbs up or a like, and definitely share it with someone you know. That's how we get the message out. That's why I can keep making these every week. So definitely show your support. If you really did get value, then show your support. If you didn't, let me know too. But thank you, guys, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Dropship Weekly. Bye.